Welcome again, SQUIM, Center for Spiritual Living. We have a special guest with us today. And if you're here visiting for the first time and you've not heard of SQUIM, Center for Spiritual Living, you're also a special guest, and we welcome you as well. And I just absolutely love that song by the Youngbloods, Get Together. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together and try to love one another right now. So we're going to do a deep dive into that this morning as we conclude our month of miracles. And we have slides now. So I was already thinking while I was singing, I was like, okay, I'm going to pivot. We're going to do a little bit of a pivot, but I don't have to pivot. I'm pivoting back. So here we go. We're just constantly doing the dance of life here. Woo, right? So another piece of gratitude, so much gratitude for everyone who came out yesterday. We had 20 people show up for our, let's go back to the other slide. Wasn't quite ready. I'm going to talk fast, but I can't talk that fast. So let's go to the thank you again. We have several pictures from that event yesterday in the announcement slide, so we'll run that after the service. Can you go to there you go. So this is just a sampling of the folks that showed up. And we did a big cleanup and cookout here on the grounds, and what a blessing it was. In celebration for Earth Day that was on Wednesday, April the 22nd, we all got to get our hands dirty and commune with Mother Gaia and beautify our beautiful place here. And so it was great. Was that funny? Me?
He's real anxious to go to the next.
I know. So let's go to the next slide. We'll do it. And he's like, I think the technology gremlins are still messing with him. Yeah. Or they're messing with me, one or the other. So here, so Tony and I, when we left, we locked up, cleaned up, put everything away yesterday, and we left, and we made a comment to each other. We're like, boy, I hope tomorrow morning people are able to like shuffle into the sanctuary, that they're not too sore or tired. And I'm happy to say I'm not too sore, but it made me think of this meme, this funny meme. He was reaching for enlightenment and threw his back out. So folks, another point of today's talk is you don't have to strive too hard for it. You don't have to pull your back out for enlightenment. So truly know that if you're pulling your back out for it, I invite you to just be a little bit more. Just be in the presence of being a little bit more. And then I think we have one more, and this was me this morning. Have you ever been there? I mean, it's been a whirlwind of a weekend, and me this morning, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't decide what to wear. I know you've been there, right? You've been there. Not quite like that. Well, at least I don't have my undies on my head, all right? All right, well, with all of that great laughter and joy, I'm going to step into the message for today, and that is where we are right now, where humanity and divinity meet, and we are literally building tomorrow today. We are literally building tomorrow right now. So just giving you a little bit of insight on what the heck I mean by that and that talk title. In a broader sense, and in a broader spiritual context, humanity and divinity can be understood as the intersection of personal growth and divine guidance. And the funny thing is it's always happening. It had its way with me 2 seconds ago. It's always happening. We are encouraged to engage in daily spiritual practice, to connect with the divine, which enhances our spiritual journey and helps us live in alignment with our divine identity. The relationship between humanity and divinity is also explored in various religious traditions, where divinity is seen as the ultimate source of truth and purpose, and humanity is driven by a quest for understanding its place in the grand scheme of existence. Y'all been there before? Are you there now? Are we on this quest for that understanding, that deep, deep understanding that we want to taste, that's so delicious that it lights us up every moment of every day? That's what I'm talking about. So this relationship is a timeless theme that invites introspection and empathy towards others navigating their spiritual journey. So see, we're kind of in the middle there, and now we're going to ultimately get to the real meat of the matter here. Sorry, vegans, we're going to ultimately get to the the impact of the matter here. I'm so glad you get me, Glenn. Ultimately, the meeting point of humanity and divinity is a deeply personal and transformative experience that leads to a deeper understanding of our purpose and the divine presence within. The divine presence within each one of us. Yet did you hear that I said it is deeply personal and it is deeply unique? So ever how many people that we have right now breathing this air together under this roof, you're all going to have your own unique experience and take this in your own unique way. And it's absolutely perfect and vital for you and only you. So let's go to, he's there, yay, the month of miracles. Here's our concluding our assignment for the month. It doesn't mean your assignment ends. It never ends, by the way. But this is probably the last time I'm gonna check up on you, unless I do a pop quiz somewhere down the line. But here's the conclusion of our month of miracles. So just with one or two words, pop out what you all wrote down. And just for those that are visiting today, at the beginning of this month, I handed out little affirmation booklets with positive affirmations on the front and a matching pen. Glenn's got his. You want to wave yours around? It's a miracle you remembered it. And I invited all of them, everyone, to, as you go through your day, as you go through your week, jot down all of the holy moments you see and experience, all of the miracles that you notice. And I told you at the end of the month, we are going to conclude, and I'm going to kind of explain more of why that is so important to do. So, the beginning of each talk, this Sunday of this month, I have asked folks to tell us a little bit about what you wrote down. One or two words. Shout out what miracles you experienced or saw or felt this week. Eva.
The days are getting longer. It's so wonderful to have it longer.
It really is. That is a miracle. Who else? What'd you write down? What'd you notice? Sandra. Oh, sorry.
Communication builds relationships.
Communication builds relationships. Amen. And Glenn, what did you say?
Can't do it in a few words.
Okay. One word then.
Discipleship.
Discipleship. Amen. Amen, brother. Good word. Anybody else? Reverend Lynn?
Supposed to be only one word though?
Well, no. One or two. Yeah.
Okay, mine is opening to new answers to old questions.
Ooh, I love that. Opening to new answers to old questions. Well, that's deep. That's going to be the perfect.
Exciting and
Perfect
sometimes
break.
not so much fun.
Yeah, I hear that. For those on Zoom, she said exciting, but not necessarily so much fun. So that's our assignment. So I'm going to go into a little bit right now of, because I told you I would, of a little bit of why that's so important and why the assignment is to continue to do that no matter what. So a dear friend and colleague of mine, David Broomer, shared this story. A few years ago, Craig Fletcher, who is a digital creator and holistic health coach that lives in Perth, Scotland, he went to see a hypnotherapist who began every session the very same way, every single time. With a clipboard in hand and a calm voice, she would ask, "What went well this week? What went well this week?" At first, it was easy. But during one particular painful week, after his sister died while injured and living in temporary housing, the question felt almost insulting. He poured out his grief and his chaos, and yet she simply listened and asked, "What went well this week?" Week after week, the same question persisted. At first it was irritating, then exhausting, and eventually something shifted. By week 5, he started preparing answers ahead of time. By week 6, he walked in excited to share. His circumstances hadn't changed, but his focus had. The therapist hadn't fixed his life. She had changed what his brain was searching for. The shift relates to the reticular activating system, the brain's internal filter that decides what to notice. When you repeatedly ask, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Is there something wrong? When you repeatedly ask that, your brain highlights problems, stress, and threats. It can't help it. You're giving it direction. It keeps your nervous system on edge. Yet when you ask, what went well? What went well for you this week? What went well this morning? Your brain begins to notice progress, support, and small wins, allowing your system to relax and recover. Everybody take a deep breath and release. Going into that relaxation and recovery. What went well this morning?
Yummy breakfast.
So much went well this morning that I am giggling with delight. Yes, what went well? So since then, he practiced a simple daily ritual. Each evening, he asks himself, what went well today? Listing 3 small things. Over time, this rewires attention, shifting focus from what's broken to what's working. The brain always looks for evidence. The questions you ask determine what it finds. So folks, that's why I invite you to write in your little journal or take notes on your phone or tell someone, maybe even right after it happened, whenever you notice the holy, whenever you notice the holy moments, when the miraculous shows up in front of you, for you, with you, and when you're a part of it, notice it. Because that is going to bring about, I think, go to the next slide, please. That's going to bring about focus on the powerful, the euphoric, the magical, the synchronistic, the beautiful parts of life. And the universe will keep giving them to you.
Amen.
Amen. And it's really a two-way street. Does the universe give you more? Or was there just all of that's always there and you're just noticing more and more? That is the question, right? That is the question. So there is a story I'd like to share with you that's adapted from M. Scott Peck, The Different Drum. It's a story where a community making peace, and it tells the tale of hope and renewal, where the presence of a rabbi, despite the decline of an order, brings forth a spirit of revival and connection. And this story is a reminder of the power of community and the importance of spiritual connection in fostering a sense of belonging and purpose. It serves as a metaphor for the enduring spirit of community and the role of individuals in sustaining and nurturing their surroundings. You all ever heard of this story, The Rabbi's Gift? Anybody? Good. I'm telling you a new story. So once there was a great order. And I already messed up. Hold on. Once a great order, a decaying monastery had only 5 monks left. The order was dying. And in the surrounding deep woods, there was a little hut that a rabbi from a nearby town used from time to time. The monks always knew the rabbi was home, and they saw smoke rise up from his little cabin above the treetops. So as the abbot of the monastery agonized over the imminent death of his order, it occurred to him to ask the rabbi if he could offer any advice that might save the monastery. The rabbi welcomed the abbot in his hut, and when the abbot explained the reason for his visit, the rabbi could only commiserate with him. "I know how it is," he explained. "The spirit has just seemed to have gone out of people. It's the same in my town. Almost no one comes to synagogue anymore." So the abbot and the rabbi sat together discussing the Bible and their faiths. The time came for the abbot to leave. "It's been a wonderful visit," he says, "but I have failed my purpose. Is there nothing you can tell me to help save my dying order?" "The only thing I can tell you," the rabbi said, "is that the Messiah is among you." When the abbot returned to the monastery, his fellow monks gathered around him. What do you say? What did Rabbi say? He couldn't help, the abbot said. The only thing he did say as I was leaving was that the Messiah is among us, though I do not know what the words mean. In the months that followed, the monks pondered this and wondered whether there was any possible significance to the rabbi's words. The Messiah is among us? Could he possibly have meant that the Messiah is one of us monks here at the monastery? Well, if that's the case, who's the Messiah? Do you suppose he meant the abbot? Yes. If he meant anyone, he probably meant Father Abbot. Certainly he could not have meant Brother Eldred. Eldred gets crotchety at times. But come to think of it, even so, Eldred is virtually always right. Maybe the rabbi did mean Brother Eldred. Of course, the rabbi did not mean me. He couldn't possibly have meant me. I'm just an ordinary person. Yet supposing he did, suppose I am the Messiah. As they contemplated this in manner, the monks began to treat each other with extraordinary respect on the off chance that one of them, that one of them might be the Messiah. And in turn, the monk began to treat himself with extraordinary respect. It so happened that people still occasionally came to visit the beautiful forest and the monastery, and without even being conscious of it, visitors began to sense a spiritual, powerful aura. They were sensing the extraordinary respect that now filled the monastery. People began to come to the monastery to frequently picnic and to play and to pray. They began to bring their friends, and their friends brought their friends. And then it happened that some of the younger men that came to visit the monastery started talking more and more to the older monks. After a while, one asked if they could join them. Then another, and then another. And more asked if they could join the monastery and the older monks. Within a few years, the monastery once became a thriving order, a vibrant center of light and spirituality in the realm. Why do you think that happened? Why do you think that was possible?
It's in every one of us.
It's in every one of us. Yeah. And they started to believe that, and then they started to act as if, and then they started to believe it about themselves. Wow. Ernest Holmes wrote, "When we awaken to the divine within us, it will reach out and embrace everything around us. And it will discover the same presence in people, events, and in all nature. For God is not separate from what God is doing. The divine life is in everyone and everything." When Jesus said we should believe even before we receive, he was explaining the operation of mental law of cause and effect. If nothing is believed in it, then nothing is acted upon it. But since there is such a law, and since we are always believing in something, the law will always be operating upon what we believe and in the way we believe it. It is not that we introduced a new law, but that we bring the law we are always using under conscience control, whether it be for ourselves or someone else. So I have a question for you. I'm going to pivot a little bit. I want you to point to the past. Everybody right now, point to the past. And I love how some of you are pointing in different directions. I love that. And it does depend on how we kind of relate to the past, doesn't it? So, do you see the past where you pointed? Go ahead and do it again. Point to the past. Do you see the past? Is the past behind you? No? No, it's not. Because it doesn't exist. I'm going into some deep waters here, folks. Don't eat me. Yet many people act as if the past is real and happening right now. It's kind of like this. If yesterday is a canceled check and tomorrow is a promissory note, then what is today and how will you use it? Many of us know that there is nothing we can do with a check that has already been cashed. I'm going to ask my husband over there, works at Sound Bank. What would happen if somebody came in and tried to cash a check that's already been cashed? They probably wouldn't get any money for it, would they? Because they already got it, right? They got it at the moment they cashed it, right? The point is, the funds had already been distributed. The teller's not going to give you any money. The past doesn't exist right now. This may even be our experience that we lament and regret our past choices, decisions, and indecisions. What if we just accept that we did what we did and we didn't do what we didn't do, accept that what happened, happened, and what didn't happen, didn't happen? And when we linger in and hold on to a past that doesn't exist, we miss the gift of now. And we create our tomorrow with the monotonous repetitions of our yesterdays. So there is no sense in wasting time on something that doesn't exist. Let us consider that what happened in the past and the stories that we make up about the past are two different things. Let's consider that. These made-up stories that we tell ourselves and others directly create our future. Ernest Holmes reminds us to cut loose the threads of previous experiences and deliberately make up our minds that we shall no longer create our future out of the old past. When can we make up our minds? Now, Eva says. Would you all agree to that? When can we make up our minds? Now, today. It doesn't take months of vigorous energy to make up our minds. We can do it today, we can do it right now. Today is the gift, and I know this is a little corny, but it's true. That's why we call it the present. Today is the gift, right now is the gift. It's the present. So what do we gain when we are in the present moment? Everything. Everything. What do we gain when we're in the present moment? The future is not guaranteed. What is guaranteed is this moment. This moment right now. Look around. Really, truly look around at each other. See the light. See the power. See the love, the connection, and the unity with each and every one of us. Today is eternal. It's always today. We can only live in today. Today is the tomorrow that we are living into. All changes, adjustments, and shifts must happen today so that we can experience the kind of tomorrow that we want. What we think, speak, believe, and do in this moment sets up our future. What future are you thinking yourself into? What future are you thinking yourself into? What future are you speaking yourself into? What's wrong? Caught you there, right? What went right today? What future are you speaking yourself into? What future are you believing yourself into? What future are you acting yourself into? This is the gift of now. We can deliberately use this moment to create an amazing life by consciously unifying ourselves with the power of good. Now it kind of feels like I'm getting a little preachy. Am I getting a little preachy? You guys are starting to squirm in your seat a little bit. The squirming has begun.
Testify.
So I'm going to testify. Let me share a little bit about David Lynch. David Lynch was a speaker, lecturer, a writer, and he talked about a golf ball-sized consciousness. Have you heard of David Lynch and his golf ball-sized consciousness? That's really hard to say all in one word. So when you read a book, he says, with a golf ball size understanding, that's what you gain from it. And when you look out with your golf ball size awareness, that's what you get. And when you wake up in the morning, you're waking up with a golf ball size wakefulness. It's consciousness, and there is an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us. And it's right at the source and the base of mind, at the source of thought, and at the source of matter. So his invitation, among many people that I know, my invitation, is that we realize that whatever the size of our consciousness is at the moment, it isn't fixed. It isn't static. We get to actively choose to grow that golf ball into a larger ball of consciousness, into a larger ball of awareness, into a larger ball of wakefulness. And the way to do that is to go to work in our thoughts and beliefs and consciousness now and tomorrow. I've tried it. There's something that I really, really want to demonstrate in my life. And every time I put it off until tomorrow, guess what? It never happens. It starts to happen, but then it stops. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You ever tried to change your life in a certain way or demonstrate something in a certain way? And you don't keep at it. If you say, I'll do it tomorrow, it never gets done, does it? No. Many people promise themselves that tomorrow will be better, will be different, yet if they don't prepare themselves today, tomorrow is a repeat of today. Ernest Holmes says, prepare yourself to receive the best life has to offer. Prepare yourself to receive the best life has to offer. What are you willing to invest in your future? What are you willing to invest in your future? Then what are you willing to invest in your now? Right now. Today. We can consciously create our lives. I know a couple of weeks ago I showed a slide. I don't think I included it today because I showed it already, but I really liked it. And it was the best way to define your future is to create it. The best way to know the future is to create it. We can consciously create our lives. Let us awaken to the divine within us. We have everything to gain and nothing to lose. When we engage in the spiritual practices like prayer, meditation, imagining, visioning, visualization, sacred service, like yesterday, and anything else that reminds and reinforces the absolute truth of who we are building our tomorrow today. By design, there is an inner transformation, a permanent shift in consciousness taking place within me, even as I speak these words right now, and in you as well. Eckhart Tolle reminds us of the razor's edge. It's a term used to describe the whole essence of Zen, which consists of walking along the edge of now. To be so utterly, so completely present that no problem, no suffering, nothing that is not who you are in essence can survive in you in the now. Do you all know what I'm talking about? Have you felt that? You know? When you're in that moment of pure and total Zen, when you're completely and totally present with what is before you. You don't feel any pain, you don't feel any suffering, you're not worried, you're not thinking about the future, you're now. Embracing the now. Let's do the earth slide. So last week we talked about the miracle of our planet and the awareness of Earth Day, which was Wednesday, April the 22nd. We also explored the work and life of Dr. Jane Goodall, who emphatically taught us that every day is Earth Day. Diego Berman wrote that on the day, like Earth Day, it can be helpful to remember something very simple and very sacred. The earth is not separate from our awakening. It is the only place. It is not only the place where life happens while we wait for something more spiritual to arrive. It is the part of the teaching. It is part of the healing. It is part of the embodiment. It is part of the path itself. Many people spend years seeking expansion, clarity, higher states, deeper truth, and spiritual connection. And all of that can be beautiful. But there comes a moment when the soul begins asking for something more complete. Not only insight, but integration. Not only awakening, but rootedness. Not only vision, but a life that can actually hold what has been seen. This is the part of why earth energy matters so much. The earth reminds us that growth is not only upward, but it's also downward. It's in the roots. It's in the nervous system. It's in the body. It's in the rhythms that make life more livable. In the daily choices that allow what is sacred to stop feeling distant and to begin taking form in the way we move, care, speak, work, rest, and love, and play. So for those of you that follow astrology, with the sun now in Taurus, this message becomes even more relevant. Taurus energy propels us to value what is real, what is embodied, and what is sustainable, and what can truly support life. It reminds us that the spiritual path is not meant to pull us away from the earth, but to deepen our reverence for what can be lived here with more truth, care, beauty, and integrity. And perhaps this too is part of the healing now. To stop imagining that groundedness makes life less sacred. To stop treating daily life as separate from the soul. To remember that the earth has always known something many people forget. What it takes, what real takes root. What is real takes root. What is real takes root within my soul, within my heart, within the very essence of my being. What is true becomes lived. What is meant to remain must be nourished with patience, presence, and devotion. So see, when we have a great love and a deep respect for ourselves and for each other and for the earth and for the past, we get to consciously create and move into the absolute now and allow what is real to be real and to activate that in every essence of our life. So the invitation is not only to appreciate the planet around you, it's also to honor the sacredness of becoming more rooted within your own life. Because awakening is not only something that happens above you or beyond you, it is also something that asks to be lived here, through the body, through the earth, and through the life you are being asked to build with more care. Next slide, please. You live because life lives in you. You move because there's a universal energy flowing through you. You think because there's an infinite intelligence thinking through you. And now, as you know, this is the month of the National Poetry Month. And I've been reading poems every single Sunday, and I want to conclude this National Poetry Month and this message. So y'all just wave your hands around, get some blood flow going, because I really want you to be aware and alive and alert for this poem, because it's really beautiful. And so I'm going to conclude with a poem from Mary Oliver, one of my absolute faves. Oh my goodness, hold on. And it is, to begin with, the sweet grass. Y'all ready? Will the hungry ox stand in the field and not eat of the sweet grass? Will the owl bite off its own wings? Will the lark forget to lift its body in the air or forget to sing? Will the rivers run upstream? Behold, I say, behold, the reliability and the finery and the teachings of this gritty earth gift. Eat bread and understand comfort. Drink water and understand delight. Visit the garden where the scarlet trumpets are opening their bodies for the hummingbirds who are drinking the sweetness, who are thrillingly gluttonous. For one thing leads to another. Soon you will notice how stones shine underfoot. Eventually, tides will be the only calendar you believe in. And someone's face, whom you love, will be as a star, both intimate and ultimate. And you will be both heart-shaken and respectful. And you will hear the air itself like a beloved whisper, "Oh, let me, for a while longer, enter the two beautiful bodies of your lungs." The witchery of living is my whole conversation. With you, my darlings, all I can tell you is what I know. Look and look again. This world is not just a little thrill for the eyes. It's more than bones. It's more than the delicate wrist with its personal pulse. It's more than the beating of the single heart. It's praising. It's giving until the giving feels like receiving. You have a life. Just imagine that. You have this day and maybe another and maybe another still. Someday, I'm going to ask my friend Paulus, the dancer, the potter, to make me a begging bowl, which I believe my soul needs. And if I come to you, to the door of your comfortable house, with unwashed clothes and unclean fingernails, will you put something in it? I would like to take this chance. I would like to give you this chance. We do one thing or another. We stay the same or we change. Congratulations, if you changed. Let me ask you this. Do you also think that beauty exists for some fabulous reason? And if you have not been enchanted by this adventure, your life, what would do for you? What I loved in the beginning, I think, was mostly myself. Never mind that I had to, since somebody had to. That was many years ago. Since then, I have gone out from my confinements, though with difficulty. I mean the ones that thoughts to rule my heart. I cast them out and I put them on the mush pile. They will be nourishment somehow. Everything is nourishment somehow or another. And I have become the child of the clouds and of hope. I have become the friend of the enemy, whoever that is. I have become older and cherishing what I have learned. I have become younger. And what do I risk to tell you this, which is all I know? Love yourself, then forget it, and then love the world.